Hi, Leo. Hello, Leo. How are you? I've been shuffling up your tarot cards, and thanks for joining me. I want to wish you all the best in all things peace, prosperity, joy, bliss, abundance. It is September, time for your tarot reading, Leo. Hey, thanks so much for all the views last month. I hope you're enjoying these readings. If you are, remember to hit all the buttons. And it's a pleasure to be here with you once again. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up one more time and cut the cards. Then I'll hop back on the mic and let's talk about Leo. Let's talk about what's going on. Because maybe talking is a talking point. Maybe it's something that needs to get discussed. All right, Leo. Here we go. Once again, infinite love and blessings to all who find themselves here at this moment in space and time. Leo, the overall energy, the bottom of the deck, is the Justice card. All right, just waiting for something to happen. Just waiting for things to work out in your favor. You've been right all along, right? That's that feeling. That's that Justice feeling in the overall energy. It's like, I'm going to let this go where it needs to go. This road goes off to God knows where, but I know that it's right. And I know that I was right when I gave that person directions. So it's kind of like you're not having to pander or compromise on anything right now, Leo. This is a time for you to be standing firm. This is a time for you to be putting your values first, to allowing your values to guide you, and to not have to doubt or waver on what was done in the past, in worrying if you made the right thing, the right decision, or if you did the right thing. Because the Justice card is here to say no matter what, it's already done, and it always comes out on the wash. What comes around goes around, for good or ill, whether it's for you or the other person, Leo. So stand firm in that, stand strong in that, in all that prowess and pride of the Leo sign. Okay, all right. Here we go. We've got the death card reversed here, down in the mundane, down in the rooting cause. So some of our Leos, they may need to get a little bit more grounded in their situation. It is good to feel alive. It is good to smell the sweet fresh air. It's good to go out and do the things that all the hard work is for, right? And if it's a lack of balance you're feeling, if it seems all one way and not the other right now, which sometimes feels like an injustice, but this is just talking about that unwillingness to change. And you're not changing for anybody this month. In fact, this would be if you're cross watching here for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this may be a time not to negotiate, not to offer, because they're not going to compromise. Leo is not going to change. They're in it for what they're in it. They believe their values are first and foremost, and getting the most of what they want right now is kind of insurmountable. It's period point blank with Leo, and that's okay, because that's what that kind of that veracity of life, that sense of being. And it's not power on the ill side of power, but it's just the powerful presence of you being you. And as you're doing the awakening, conscious, co-creating thing, it's you're bringing forward things in your life. And don't stop now. And don't stop because somebody tells you that you need to slow down, that you need to act different. You're having none of it this month. This is the way it's going to be, and you're pushing through. And there's a lot to kind of come along and emphasize this and reinforce this for you, Leo, with all that fiery energy. It's okay to let her go, to let her burn sometimes. All right. Coming up next, because something to do with the wheel of fortune here. You guys are feeling a little bit faded by something. It could be due to a relationship situation. You may be reevaluating. You may be wondering how certain people in your life, why they were there. What did you teach them? What did you learn from them? And even if it's this person, we've got 10, 11, 13 major arcana right now. So this is they call it a big time of change, right? But it's not. The Wheel of Fortune is at a standstill right now. It's you've already landed on the big prize. You're just waiting for them to hold up their end of the bargain, to go and get your prize, to bring it out. But, if you're feeling stuck, Leo, if you're feeling faded and you feel like, oh, I need to change, all the sages and the gurus say I need to change. For some of you, this is more about the passing of time and waiting for the stuck energies to clear around you. There's nothing here to suggest that you need to change. It's just saying that, like, fortune favors the bold, and you're well aware of it, and you don't have to, like, necessarily go out on a limb to do it. You can essentially just be comfortable in your skin, do what you do on the day to day, bide your time, wait for your horses to come in, and then, yeah, boom. Because the values were foremost, because the faith was unwavering and undying, the times are going to get better. Things will get better for you again. But if this is like a reoccurring, like, karmic passionate thing for Leo, if you find yourself going back to old lovers this month, and it could happen, like, where you just, like, you have a moment where you're like, well, I'll just return that text, or I'll hop online for a little while, and boom, the next thing you know, you're in your car on your way to go and meet somebody from last year. This is the wheel of fortune. This is when, like, the past has the ability to, like, kind of show back up again, and it could come to you, like, when it comes to, like, chasing passions and desires, right? People that you've clicked with before when your energy has felt this way. And that's how it happens. That's why it happens. You begin to become aware of it and feel of it. So a lot of mirrored energies. We've got another reversal up here in the Nine of Wands. Okay. Yeah. It's almost as if, Leo, and I want to give you a big hug because you're like, I feel like I could do it. I feel like I can make a difference. I feel like I should change it. I feel like I need to kick down the damn door, do something, say something. But the part of you, that reserved part of you, is like, you know what? No, because I've been right all along. I've been saying that from the start. Other people need to come around and see this situation. And they will in time. But when this is a mirrored energy, it could be provoking you to maybe, like, do something different. Like I said, go out on a limb, do something strange. And as long as whatever you're doing to promote kind of just, like, forward movement, if you've been, like, in office or Zoom meetings or whatever through the whole 2020 craziness and everything just feels stuck, and you're like, I can change it, I can do it, I can change the world. Like you used to be able to bring in a box of donuts or just bring in the news that lifted everybody's day, and it kind of feels like that's stuck, or where has that magic or that zest gone? Don't worry about it. This Nine of Wands is just saying, hey, now is the time. You don't have to be defensive anymore. You don't have to engage in even, like, conversation that doesn't lead into any progression. And that, I feel, is why there's this tired feeling about you, or this month, where it's like you don't want to hear the same old thing. And if people are kind of pestering you or getting at you, or for those of you that are forced to deal, like, you've got family members or where it's hard to escape or get away from certain people in your life, you may just need to, like, find some time to recess from the intensity of the energies that you're feeling as a result of being poked or prodded too many times. Because that, in this month of September, people are kind of going to be out there. It's like, again, vying for personal gain, and egos running amok all throughout the reawakening, or people coming back to, like, what is normal, what is this sense of normal. And now Aries is retrograde all the way through the election in the US. Okay, Leo, so there's going to be this fiery energy, and there's going to be, so that the cards so far are asking you to be like a rock. Very much so, and not worry. But ton of reversals. All right. So for some of you, it just feels like every time you try and do something right, it feels like it backfires, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with my karma? Or why didn't why does wishing good upon a situation end up showing me more bad or more trouble, and things of this nature? Some of you Leos are really struggling with family issues this month, and I would encourage you strongly to recess from the intensity of those situations if it can be. And if it's something that can't be avoided, then it's almost time to collect and gather thoughts, ideas, opinions. If the two people that are having issue, if you are one of them, it might be the resolve might be from sitting down with cooler heads and make a tally of all of the points, counterpoints, demands, or concessions, or just whatever the reason is for the difference of opinion or the difference in viewpoint. We have to collect ideas before we can talk about them. Otherwise, the conversation sometimes can become too intense and sporadic, and then nobody's any of the wiser for it. So, it's not that you're judge and jury over the situation. You might just need to be the one that facilitates like cooler heads that need to prevail and be like, okay, kids, everybody just sit down, just calm down for a minute because everybody's getting worked up and there's no need to. All right. Geez, just reversals for days, and there's no rhyme or reason in this deck. It's just the way I always keep them. The Six of Pentacles comes reverse for you this month, which means like for speaking, balance speaking. All right, everybody gets a turn. Everybody needs a turn. If somebody is being silenced, canceled, if that's you, or if you hopefully are not doing that to somebody else, or maybe you need to become conscious of it. I love you, Leo, but I gotta tell it like it is. If it's time for other people to speak, or for you to actually know when to, oh hey, it's it'll come back around to me. It'll be my turn, right? Plays very much into this Justice card, and this is about speaking. Because the feeling, the thoughts create the reality, and the reality can create the emotion that goes behind more thoughts to feed into more reality. With that spoken word, or being very aware when someone is just waiting for their turn to speak, or whether they're actually listening to you empathically. That's going to be a huge deal breaker or money maker for you, one way or the other. Listening pays off, and if somebody is unwilling to listen, or at least is showing that they're only listening, and then there's no action behind the understanding of maybe what you have just told them, the Six of Pentacles is saying, well, that's an imbalance. That's something that requires a different approach, or a new approach, hopefully in order to bridge some understanding between you, the other person in the situation. Okay. Wow, Two of Wands. And Scorpio actually just had this card up in this exact same position, which is very interesting. With the Two of Wands being here, about your karmic ties of the past, it goes back to this Wheel of Fortune for me. It's about what you choose. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's only about that which you choose. That which you have chosen doesn't mean that you can't have more. Just because you're having a lollipop doesn't mean you can't have cotton candy too. But it's hard to eat them both at the same time, right? So you're going to have to decide what's priority, which one comes first, which one tastes better, that sort of thing. And that's all right, because life is in a perpetual state of flux, being like current state versus future desire versus the expected state that desire will bring. And if you keep this in mind in your visions, and in what you take in, I guess, even through media sources and five senses of that, you can become a more conscious filter. You can increase or decrease what you're allowing to soak in and become a resonant part of you when it's, comes to those thoughts before going to bed and those thoughts when waking up. That's when the strong exercises of the Two of Wands and the power of the subconscious manifestations really come into play. And you can be all about that as long as you're a strong enough or a solid enough of a filter, which is kind of nice. I'd like if that Nine of Pentacles was that Nine of Wands was a bit more upright. It would have suited this too a lot better. But this is still nice. This is still a strong manifesting card. This is still a strong card of being like that force, that ever present. Remember, we talked about at the start. There's no need to change, but there's definitely, even when you're staying rock solid in your values, these things can continue to bloom and flourish and grow within you, especially when it comes to imagination and setting visions for yourself for the future. It's only fair. It's only right? It's justice. Come on. Some of you just have some fun with a Libra here as well. Okay? It may be time for some of you to settle out of town. It may be time to let go of the strict regimented thought processes as well. If there's a lot asked of you, Leo, in any given day, and it gets to that point where it's like you have no time for thoughts of your own sometimes, right? That pony may need to slow its roll. This is what's coming in from the universe, and it's a Knight of Swords reverse. So some of our Leo friends are going to check right out. They're going to say, F it. You guys figure it out. You dug the hole. You got into the mess. I've been right all along. If you disagreed with me and now you're suffering as a result of it, that's no fault of mine. So why am I going to get dragged down in your stuff too? So, avoid the conflict as much as you can and continue to be that pillar of support, of supportive idea, while still charting or navigating the proper course, especially for those of you that are dealing with family this month. That's very tough. There may be a younger Libra or Aquarian, very much so, that's in your environment, could be Gemini as well, that is causing you a bit of stress, a bit of strife, a bit of grief. And if that's the case, you may need to be more authoritative, or you may need to be in a place where you say enough, you cut that cord, you let them scot-free, you say, no, I told you my opinion on, my thoughts on it, you went against what my recommendations, so how is this on me to continue to help you and try and get out of it? And I know you're the loving type, right? But these are those karmic relationships that will build and come full circle and go back again. So if you're thinking about going back to an ex, or maybe it was just a fling or something like that, give it some serious consideration, some serious thought. If this is a karmic thing that you wanted to keep alive, or if this is something that you are actually, spirit is pushing you or moving you away from it, especially if it's hard to work it out, to voice things through, or where that door leads because you've opened that door before, you've been down that road before. Okay, Leo, lots of love. Thanks again for listening to me. We'll see you next month. Have a happy Virgo season.